Vi tvrdite
You claim,
za taj zaista stravičan zločin
in
o čemu
respect
zna
of
cela
this truly
Jugoslavija,
horrible
da je on
crime
rezultat
that
svađe
all of
među
Yugoslavia is
Srbima.
aware of, that it is a result of a quarrel amongst Serbs.
I don't understand the question.
Your evidence was that, as you understood it, there was a quarrel between Serbs which led to this incident in which 6 people were killed. Is that right?
What I said were rumors that I heard from citizens in Peja.
A da li znate da je
And do you know
to bio teroristički
that this
napad
was a terrorist attack
na kafe u kome je bila omladina
against a cafe in which
i
there
da
were
su sa
young
vrata
people,
grupa
and
terorista
that
izrešetala ceo
from
kafe
the group of 6 young men there. Do you know about that, apart from the rumors that you heard of?
No, I don't know.
A da li znate da su ti
And do
mladići
you
koji su
know that
ostali na
these
podu izrešetani
young
kad je
men
izrešetan
who
ceo
remained
kafe
on
bili
the floor
od
dead
13 do 22 godine?
Yes.
when the whole cafe
Mr.
was
Milosevic.
bullet riddled? They were between the ages of 13 and 22.
Mr. Milosevic, we'll wait for the interpretation to finish. The witness says he doesn't know about it, so there's no point asking him further.
Ja postavljam, gospodine May,
Mr.
pitanje,
May, I'm putting
jer
the
je to
question
bio jedan od
because
najprljavijih
that was
terorističkih
one
napada
of
na
the
decu,
dirtiest
a
terrorist
svedok je
attacks
ovdje
against
izjavio
children.
da je to
And the
zato što
witness
se
said
Srbi
that
međusobno
this is
posvađali
due
u
to the
kafiću.
fact that the Serbs quarreled among
I cela
themselves
zemlja-
in the cafe.
We heard his explanation. We've heard his evidence. We'll have to consider it in due course. You can put your evidence in front of us. But there's no point asking him questions when he says he doesn't know. Now, can we go on to another topic?
Dobro, a da li zna svedok,
All right, does
ako
the
dozvolite
witness
da
know
postavim
then,
pitanje,
if I may ask him this by your leave,
da postoji izveštaj
that there
i
is
kosovske
a report
verifikacione
of the
misije o
Kosovo
tom terorističkom
verification
napadu?
mission about this terrorist attack?
Verifikus, do me thonë personeli ndërkombëtar. Vetëm na kanë sugjeruar që t'jemi
The personnel of the mission
dhe
advised us to be more cautious and careful, and this was the reason why they came to fetch us from our homes to work and take us back to our homes at the end of work.
What you were asked was, do you know about a report by the verification mission about this attack?
Jo nuk kam gjeni për ndonjë raport të tillë.
No, I have no knowledge of such a report.
Gospodo, svedok ne zna ništa o napadima NATO,
the witness
ni o
knows
bombardovanju
nothing
Peći,
about NATO
ni o
attacks,
napadima
or
UČK,
attacks in Peć,
ni o
or attacks
terorističkom
by
napadu s kojim je
the
počeo,
KLA, or the terrorist
a o kome
attack
postoji izveštaj verifikacione misije,
occurred and
Juče smo čuli da je
about which
vojska
there
samu
is
sebe
a
granatirala, a u
report of the
optužnici stoji da je
KVM.
Jugoslavija samu
Yesterday
sebe
we
napala.
heard
Ja mislim da nema
that
svrhe
the army
da
attacked itself, and in
nastavim
the
da
indictment
ispitujem
they say that
ovog svedoka
Yugoslavia
o
attacked itself. I
navodima
think
o
there is
kojima
no
zna čitava
point
jugoslovenska javnost osim
in
njega,
examining this
a
witness any
pogotovo nema
longer
svrhe da
about
nastavim da ga
things that the
ispitujem s
entire
obzirom da je
Yugoslav
i
public
sam
knows
rekao da je
about, and he
službenik
says he knows nothing
ovog
about this. I
suda.
imagine it is
Zahvaljujući.
pointless for me to question him any further because he said himself that he is a staff member of this tribunal, so I have no further questions of him.
Mr. Tapurskovic.
Hvala, časni sudije. Vrlo kratko.
Thank you, Your Honor. Very briefly.
Gospodine Sokoli,
Mr. Sokoli,
malopre ste izjavili
a few minutes ago you
u
said
jednom momentu
that at one moment
jedan policajac,
a policeman,
kako ste kazali,
as you had put it,
odvukao do kamiona.
dragged you to a truck.
Po ashtu ka qenë.
Yes, that's what happened.
Ali vi ste o tom događaju,
However,
ja moram
as regards this event, I have to caution you
govorili 14.
that
juna.
you spoke about this on the 14th of June to the investigators that you talked to
vrlo brzo
on that day.
nakon onoga
That is to
šta ste
say,
doživjeli.
very soon
tada ste rekli
after you had experienced
taj
what you had experienced.
policajac
And
pomogao,
then you said that this policeman
ispratio me do
helped you.
kamiona,
You say
nisam imao snage
he
da uđem u
escorted
kamion,
me to the
pa mi je
truck.
taj
I did not have the
policajac
strength to
pomogao. Da li je
board the
tako?
truck, so this policeman helped me. Isn't that right?
Po, është sakt.
Yes, that's correct.
A i samo još ovo, a da li je tačno
Yes, and one more
da
thing.
ste tog
Is it
policajca
correct that
malo kasnije vidjeli
a bit
ponovo,
later you saw that policeman again?
pa ste čak rekli bio je
And
vrlo
you
plemenit
even
čovjek,
said he
delio je
was a
mališanima
very
čokolade,
kind man. He
govorio je
gave
ljudima da budu
children
strpljivi,
chocolate,
nije
and he was
nosio
telling
oružje,
people to be
imao je
patient.
torbu s
He did
oznakom
not
Crvenog
carry any
krsta.
weapons. He had a bag with a red cross on it.
Neki ljudi su ga pitali
Some
odakle
people
je,
asked him
i
where
on
he
je
was
odgovorio
from,
iz
and he
Beograda.
said from Belgrade.
Do me thonë, këtë polic që e kam vrejtu në,
The policeman that I was observing, that I saw,
në hotel.
it was before the six policemen took me to the hotel,
Që s'ka qenë një armatosur.
and I noticed that he wasn't armed.
Shejt të kryqit të kuq.
He was
E kam vrejtur duke
carrying the
biseduar
sign of the
me
Red
popullatë
Cross,
aty, dhe po ashtu edhe ju
and
ka
I
jap
saw
disa
him
gjëra
among the
fëmijëve
people,
aty që ishin
and I
prezent.
saw him giving things out to the children.
Albanskoj.
Albanian children?
Po, fëmijëve shqiptar.
Yes, Albanian children.
Thank you.
Mr. Sokoli, so we can understand the point. The evidence you've just given about the policeman helping you to the truck, this was after the incident in the hotel when you were beaten, is that right?
Po, është sakt.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Oh, please. Mr. Sokoli, when you explained the reason why you left Kosovo to the prosecution, you told that it was because you were frightened, and that's because you had worked for OSCE, the verification mission, and because you were beaten by the policeman. But in other cases, in case of other Albanians who had not worked for the verification mission or any other international institution, or who had not been beaten by the policeman, why did they leave? Could you explain this?
Muj ta bëj një shpjegim, s'di sa do të jem kështu të qartë.
I will try to explain. I don't know
prej
how clear that will
14
be.
janarit në vitit 1999,
In January 1999, I started to work for the OSCE, where they had a field office as the supervisor for the guards, and I had frequent contacts with the population who came to complain, to file their complaints about mistreatment from the police. There have also been cases of other incidents when the people were scared from the military, from the Yugoslav army troops. I don't know how to explain that.
Thank you.
Any re-examination?
Oh, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Sakoli, that concludes your evidence. Thank you for coming to the International Tribunal to give it. You are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honours.
The next witness is Khalid Barani. Summary has been distributed, but only recently. In the course of this witness's evidence, reference will be made to lists. To one of those lists, there may not have been provided yet English translation of part of the document that is not a list. That's being dealt with now, and I hope will not impede the progress of the evidence. Another list that the witness has brought with him himself. When we come to that, I'll seek leave to put that in.
Yes, Mr. Trubkovic.
Časni sudije, ja bih
Your
imao,
Honours,
ja do sada jednu primjedbu malu.
I have a small
Ja je do sada
objection.
nisam stavljao,
Until
jer sam
now, I
uspevao,
have not
iako
put forth this
sam istoga dana
objection.
dobio sažetak
Although I would get
ispitivanja
these summaries on the very
svedoka
same day,
na
just
engleskom, ja
before
čitam
the
na francuskom
witnesses would come in,
i
I would get
nisam
them in
imao do
English,
sada
and I
u
actually
tom
read
pogledu
French.
nikakvih primjedbi,
Until now, I
jer bih
did not
stignuo
object
u
to
međuvremenu
this
preko mog
because
asistenta
in the
da se detaljno
meantime,
upoznam
through
s ovim
my
sažetkom.
assistant, I
Međutim,
would
u ovom
manage
momentu stiže
to
jedan
familiarize
veoma bitan,
myself
veoma
with
važan
the
svedok u
summary.
mojoj proceni,
However, in my
gde je
opinion, the
sažetak,
witness who is due
Boga
to
mi,
come in
evo,
just now is a
ima
very
10-ak
important, a
stranica
substantial witness, and indeed the
Ja ću
statement
biti u stanju da
contains
pratim
10
iskaz
pages.
tog svedoka,
I will be
jer
in a
imam
position
prevod
to
na
follow the
srpski
witness's
jezik.
statement because
Međutim,
I
ovaj
have
sažetak koji je
interpretation
vrlo
into
važan
Serbian. However,
da
this
ga
summary
svako
that
od
is
nas
very
ima u
important
momentu
for all of
kada
us, we should
se
all
ispituje
have
svedok
it at
po
the
mom
moment when the witness is being
ovako osjećaju,
questioned.
morao bih dobiti na
But
francuskom jeziku.
I really
Naročito
believe that I
kad
should
se
be
radi
getting these
ovako
summaries
opširnim
on time in the
sažecima,
French
verujte,
language, especially when we
evo,
have
kao
such
amicus curiae,
extensive
neću
material.
moći
As an
valjano
amicus
da
curiae,
pratim
I will
baš
not be in a
onako kako to
position
treba,
to follow the
da se prati
proceedings
jedno ovako
properly,
ispitivanje. Ja mislim da
especially
tu
an
sud
examination
ipak
of
treba
this nature.
tužilaštvo da upozori
I think
na
that
to da
the
nas
trial
blagovremeno
chamber should
upoznaju s ovakvim stvarima i na jeziku
caution
koji ja
the
poznajem.
prosecution in this regard, that they should allow the amici to receive information in a language that they know. Thank you very much.
Mr. Trubkovic, this practice of having these summaries is one which the trial chamber has developed. It is not a practice throughout the tribunal at all, and it's not in the rules. It's really for the convenience, of course, of the trial chamber to know what the witness is going to say specifically about this case. You should have the statements of the witness. I imagine you have those in front of you and they've been served on you. This is merely a summary. We will ask the prosecution to see what they can do in this regard, but there may not be very much because of the shortness of time required to prepare them. This is not a summary which is prepared in advance. It's prepared, as I understand it, when the witness gets to The Hague. But we'll see what we can do. Meanwhile, we'll have the evidence called.
Ja prihvatam vaše objašnjenje, međutim, ti
I do
rezimei su u
accept your
velikoj meri
explanation.
razlikuju
However,
od onoga
these
što je sadržano
summaries
u iskazu. U velikoj meri se razlikuju od onoga što je
considerably differ
sadržano
to
u
a
iskazima.
large
Ali
extent
ja
from what the
uvažavam ovo što
witness
ste mi
statements
kazali
contain.
i
But of course, I
bio
shall
sam dužan
abide
da
by
vas
what you
samo
have
sa tim
said,
upoznam.
but I just felt duty-bound to make you aware of this.
Very well. Yes.
Was that yes to the witness? I think yes.
Yes, let the witness take the declaration.
I solemnly declare that I will speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
If you'd like to take a seat.
Your name, Halit Barani.
Yes.
Are you a resident of Mitrovica in northern Kosovo?
Yes.
Married with 7 children?
Yes.
Are you currently the Mitrovica Regional Chairman of the Council for the Defense of Human Rights and Freedom?
Yes.
Were you educated in Mitrovica, thereafter attending Pristina University?
Yes.
Did you do compulsory military service between 1974 and 75 as a medical technician?
Yes.
When did you first become politically active?
In 1989.
For which political party?
With the Democratic League of Kosovo.
Did you serve as chairman of the sub-branch of that party in the Lerida neighborhood some years?
No, I was the chairman of a sub-branch for Mitrovica.
Well, until when?
Up until 1992.
To what post were you elected in 1992?
Member of the chairmanship of the Democratic League of Kosovo for Mitrovica.
Between 1989 and 1997, were you ever arrested by the police? If so, on how many occasions?
76 herë.
76 times.
What were these arrests said to relate to?
Arrestimet gjithëherë kanë qenë me pretekst
The arrests were on the pretext that I was an activist of the Democratic League of Kosovo and of the Defense Council for the Defense of Human Rights and Freedoms.
When arrested, what was the maximum period of time for which you were ever detained?
Maksimale ka qenë 24 orë.
The maximum was 24 hours.
Was your home ever searched or raided by police?
Ka bërë shumë herë.
Many times.
For what stated reason?
Gjatë gjithë kontrollave në shtëpinë time kanë marrë dokumentacione të ndryshme dhe buletinat që botuan në Këshillin për mbrojtjen e të drejtave dhe ligjeve të njerëzit.
Council for the Defense of Human Rights and Freedoms.
Të cilët kanë evidencën e rasteve të dhunës dhe shumë herë emën e mbiemër të atij që ka ushtruar dhunë mbi populacion shqiptare.
By name the people who used violence against the Albanian population.
During your detentions by the police, how were you treated? Were you questioned?
Më kanë marrë gjithëherë në pyetje.
They always interrogated me, and 7 times I was seriously physically mistreated.
During this general period, late 80s to late 90s, was the Office for the Council of the Defense of Human Rights and Freedom ever searched by police?
I'm sorry?
99.
No, not in the 80s, but in 1990 and 1991.
When searched, what was the reason given for the search?
Në këtë rast njëherë është kontrolluar zyra e Këshillit për mbrojtjen e drejtave dhe ligjeve të njerëzit në Mitrovic, po ashtu dhe zyrat e LDK-s, të cilat kanë qenë në të njëjtën ndërtesë,
as well as the LDK offices in the same building, and a video camera and a camera and many photographs and other documents belonging to the Council for the Defense of Human Rights were confiscated.
Were there demonstrations of a public kind during the period 89 to 90?
Yes, there were.
Did you see and or take part in those demonstrations?
Yes, I saw them.
Were any people injured or killed in the course of those demonstrations?
Po më 27 mars 89,
27th of March 1989, near the bus station in Mitrovica, 5 Albanians were killed and 24 were wounded, and many were arrested by the Serbian police.
Those who were killed, by whom or by what were they killed?
Ata u vranë nga
They were killed
policia
by
serbe
the Serbian
me
police
armë zjarre, kuptohet.
by gunfire.
I turn to the second page of the summary. There's one other document I didn't mention earlier. There's a document referred to in the second paragraph. If it's not available in translation, I would prefer to come back to later when it is available. In fact, I think it's available now. In 1991, what work were you doing?
Në vitin 91 isha
In 1991,
kryetar I Këshillit për
I was
mbrojtjen e të drejtave dhe lirive të
chairman for
njerëzit
the
në Mitrovica.
Council for the Defense of Human Rights and Freedoms in Mitrovica.
Yes. But before that, did you have other work, ordinary work, at some stage?
Kom qenë punëtor.
I was a worker.
What job?
Kom qenë shitës.
I was a sales assistant.
How did that work come to an end? Why did it end?
Në vitin 91,
In 1990-1991,
pushteti serb
the
I
Serbian
dëboi të
regime
gjithë shqiptarët
dismissed all the
me
Albanians
dhunë nga puna,
from their
të
jobs
cilët ishin
forcibly,
të shtyrë të nënshkruajnë
and they were forced to sign
vendim në të cilin
a statement
kërkoi që shqiptarët të deklarojnë se
in which
e
Albanians
njohin
had to
si
declare
Republikë të
that
vetëm
they
Serbinë.
recognized Serbia as their republic.
Were you given an opportunity to sign such a form?
Jo.
No.
Well, then can you explain to us why it was you lost your job as a salesperson?
Për mos të ardhur deri te nënshkrimi I deklaratës,
In order not
unë kam
to
shku punën
be
vetëm me
forced
dëshirë.
to sign the declaration, I left my job of my own free will.
Have you come to the tribunal with a copy of the declaration where people were being asked to sign at the time?
Po e kam një
Yes,
deklaratë të tillë e
I
cila
have
I është përdhuar
declaration of this
mjekëve në
kind,
spitalin
which
e
was
përgjithshëm të
offered
Mitrovicës ta
to the
nënshkruajnë.
doctors of the
Dhe
Mitrovica
mjeku
General
Adem
Hospital
Nura, I cili
for them to
njëkohësisht ka
sign,
qenë edhe
and
antar
the
I
Dr.
Këshillit
Adem
së Këshillit
Nurai,
për
who was
mbrojtjen e drejtave
also
dhe lirive
member
të
of the
njerëzit,
presidency of the
e ka
Council for
sjell
the
atë
Defense of
dokument
Human Rights
në
and
Këshill të
Freedoms,
panënshkruar.
brought this
Dhe
declaration
e
to the
kam këtu me
Council
vete.
unsigned, and I have it with me.
I seek to produce that as an exhibit. The original is here, but I've now got copies and English translations. Draft translations as they are at present. And the original, which is I think on green paper, I'm not quite sure where it is at the moment, but is available for inspection if anybody wants to see it.